Welcome to another episode of the Offer Accepted Show. I'm so glad to have you with us here tonight. Tonight we're going to talk about affordable home options. Missy Buttram from HomeWire Realty is going to show us a modular home. And these modular homes, they're a regular stick-built home that's put on a trailer and then brought up here and put on a slab. She's going to be on location telling us a little bit about the home and how that process works. So I'm really looking forward to this episode. HomeWire Realty is here to help you get your offer accepted, get that dream home, or the home of your dreams. We're so honored to have them as the sponsor of our show. In this episode, we're going to sit down and talk to Missy, Kris, and Al on the different ways that you can get an affordable home in this seller's market. There's a lot of energy in the marketplace right now, and we want to give you all the tools available to get your offer accepted and to get you into that home. I'm excited to get started. Let's meet up with Missy. We're going to talk about making affordable homes and new inventory options. On August 10th, you got to drop your house in Jackson. Tell me about that.
Yes, we dropped that house in Jackson on Jackson Drive near downtown. And it's going to be available sometime in September. It is a modular home from Indiana, a company called Heckaman Homes. And you'll see in the video, they bring it on a crane, on a truck, drop it on a crane on our basement that's been there. And after they do some touch-ups in the inside, it's going to be ready to market. Because it comes in two pieces, and you'll see that on the video. And when they come together, they have to fix all the drywall seams, the floor seams, but it does have the windows, it has the cabinets, it has everything in there. We just have to finish it off and make it look like one big unit.
That's amazing that they can drop a house on August 10th and you can have it ready for sale in September.
Exactly.
That is so wonderful. Let's take a look.
Hey everyone, it's Missy Buttram with HomeWire Realty. I'm here in Jackson, Wisconsin. We are getting ready to drop the second half of our new build. They come from a place in Indiana called Heckaman Homes. They have the cabinets inside there. It's drywalled. It's in two pieces. On this particular one, it's going to be a 1,600 square foot ranch home. Very affordable. We're going to be price pointing that right under $400,000. It's coming late September, early October, so keep an eye out for the HomeWire listings. As you can see, you get the two pieces, they come together like a puzzle. You can see the holes where they're going to match up with the holes on the other side. This one has a porch, 3 bedrooms, 2 baths, basement. We'll have an egress window for future finishing for the buyer. Check out our new homes coming to Jefferson, Wisconsin in 2022. Brand new homes under $400,000, ready for you to move into.
What is the process for getting one of these modular off-site stick-built homes and getting it onto your own lot?
We are exclusive Heckaman Home dealer here in Wisconsin. So reach out to myself or my husband and we can help you get going on the process. We have lots of floor plans, 1-story, 1.5-story, 2-story homes. And the great thing about these is I like to say they are off-site stick-built homes and not just modular, because there's kind of a misconception. People think of the trailer. It's not that. It is a drywalled house. They're beautiful. I actually have some pictures of our finished product of the same model in the Wisconsin Dells that we have an Airbnb. So I'd like to get past that misconception. So off-site stick-built. And we can get going on it. They are coming in about 10% less than the regular construction homes around here. But you do have to have your own foundation, your own lot, and we can work through some pricing with you.
That is amazing at how quickly they can be built. Is the lumber shortage that happened in May, is that affecting it, or is that starting to even out now?
Well, lumber prices did affect some of the orders that are being made, but the orders that are being made are not being shipped out until April, May, if we order in August. So the home that got dropped in Jackson, as you saw in the video, we actually ordered last winter. So you need some lead time in there. But if you do an on-site stick build with the builders around here, I mean, you're looking at a year out right now. So 9-10 months to wait for that home isn't so horrible. Once they get the process going in the factory, it's all done like an assembly line. It's amazing how the factory works. There's no room for errors because it's all done the same as every other one. kind of comes down this belt.
So a modular home is 10% less, and it takes about 25% less time to build.
Correct.
That sounds like a great deal. These pictures from the home that you have in the Dells are beautiful. This is just a wonderful house. Now, it looks so big. Did you finish the first floor and the basement, or what are we seeing here?
Yes. So the reason this one looks so huge is the first floor is 1,800 square feet. It's a 3-bedroom, 2-bath ranch, which is the same model we put in Jackson. But what we did in the Dells is we finished the basement because that is our Airbnb in the Springbrook Resort. And we made it into a 6-bedroom, close to 3,500 square foot home with the rec room, bar area, another full bath down there. So we can accommodate 14 guests in there.
That's amazing. This looks like a wonderful place for a vacation, and it looks like such a beautiful home. I love it looks just like a regular home. It doesn't look like...
Yeah, you never would guess it came on a truck.
Yeah, that is just amazing. What's the advantage of doing an offsite stick-built home as opposed to, besides being 10% cheaper and 25% quicker, what are some of the other advantages to doing an offsite stick-built home?
Well, the other big advantage is being here in Wisconsin. We have, things called snow. It's August. We don't want to think about it, but we have snow and rain, and it leaves it open for all those elements to get in there when you're doing a regular on-site build. Now, when they're making these in the factory, it's controlled temperature, controlled environment. It's not like a roof is open or anything like that. They can keep all that moisture out so that going forward after that house is built, you're not going to have those moisture issues that could come up potentially.
That is nice to have that controlled environment. Who do I contact if I'm interested? Do I contact you, or what would be the best way to do that?
You can contact me. My information's given on here, or you can call my husband and I'll also provide that information.
Where are these being built, and will there be more coming and available? And what are your future plans with this modular home?
We have a new development in Jefferson happening. We're working with the city of Jefferson to have 5 lots, and we'll be putting 5 new homes on there. They're all going to be ranch style homes, different than the one in Jackson, but still a 3-bed, 2-bath, and more like 1,500 square feet. What we're trying to do is bring more affordable housing to the area, and these homes are going to be price pointed under 400, probably around the 350, 370 range. So someone can get into a brand new house very affordably.
That is affordable. And we're going to talk to Kris next about different financing options for getting you your offer accepted on one of these brand new Heckaman Modular Homes. Jackson is a beautiful town, and that house looks pretty amazing. I'm just so impressed on how they can build it and put it on a slab like that and have it ready in a few weeks. That's amazing. If somebody were to get a mortgage for a modular home like that, what would that look like? Is it the same? Do they have to do different things? How does it work?
Pretty much we take a look at it, the same basics, the income, the credit, the reserves, and the down payment, and then the collateral. We want to make sure as far as there's current homes like that have sold recently, and then in that area there should be plenty of recent sales.
It seems like if you buy a modular home or a new construction that you just need a ton of money in order to buy it, but you can buy it with a couple percent down, like 3 or 5% down. Is that correct?
Exactly. In some cases, certain programs we can do 100% financing. In certain cases, if we do qualify, you're taking a look at a 30-year fixed rate loan. If you have less than 20% down, we'll have to have private mortgage insurance, and we'll also have to escrow for property taxes, homeowners insurance, and FPMI.
What other affordable options are there for the mortgage side as far as programs for first-time home buyers or people who are just getting started?
First-time homebuyers have a lot of different options today. There's a state bond program called the WIDA program. It's one of the hottest programs that we have right now. In addition to, you have the rural development, the USDA loan, also the FHA loan. Fannie and Freddie Mae, Freddie Mac have a lot of different individual options as far as for the 3% down payment program. Some of those loans are specific with regards to income guidelines. And we can't forget, if you are a veteran, as far as for the Fed VA loan, that is one of the best programs that are out there. 30-year fixed rate, no PMI.
Going back to the modular home or any new construction, is there certain things that we should maybe keep in mind with our budget as far as unforeseen costs?
The biggest thing when you take a look at a new construction loan, do you have money as far as for putting in the driveway? Does your association require you to put in a concrete driveway within a certain specific period of time? In addition to, you want to take a look at, adding in lawns, adding in other landscaping. Do you have to have a certain amount of trees in your yard? You want to make sure that you take a look at your subdivision rules to see what requirements are as far as for having the landscaping in at a certain period of time.
Those are really important extra costs that I wouldn't think of. I'm thinking of the barbecue and the pool, but you really need the lawn and the driveway to get started.
You do. And you want to be careful because those can be big ticket items depending upon how big your yard is. And if you want to have all the fancy flowers too, that can add up after a while.
This is great information to help us get our offer accepted and avoid the pitfalls of a new construction. Those are really great programs for the first-time home buyer. What's the best way to get a hold of you?
I can be reached in a couple different ways. You'll have my information with regards to my cell phone number, email address. We even have an app now where you can apply online in less than 10 minutes. I love it. Technology is a wonderful thing.
I'm looking forward to seeing that app, and thank you so much, Kris, for joining us again today, and we'll see you next week.
Thanks for having me on.
Welcome back. Al, you're familiar with the Jackson area. What do you think about that neighborhood?
I am. I live right down the road in Slinger. Jackson is a great place to live. Lots of building going on there. Lots of neat, kind of rural feel, but a lot of good neighborhoods out there. So I bought my house there, so I'd recommend others, not too many others, but some others, come on out and join us.
Right. There's plenty of space, and it's a great opportunity to live in a wide open area.
Absolutely.
When we're talking about affordable home options, maybe somebody is getting a cosigner, or there's different people that are going to be on the title. So I think this would be a great episode to talk about what title is, who should be on the title, and how that relates to the mortgage. So can you tell me a little bit about the title?
Sure. Yeah. Let me kind of give you the basics on title, because a lot of people will look at the title to real estate and assume it's kind of like the title to a car. And there are some pretty important differences. When we buy a car in Wisconsin, and this has changed in the last 10 years or so, we don't get a title when we buy it. If we have any kind of financing on it. So we, buy the car from the dealer, have the loan, and then when we pay off the loan, we get the clear title to the car. Houses are different. Real estate is different. When we buy a piece of real estate, we get a deed that says we own it, and then we get a mortgage attached to that deed, or not physically attached, but along with that deed. And then when that mortgage is paid off, we get a satisfaction of that mortgage. But the deed is in our hands from the time of closing. A lot of times I'll meet with clients and I'll say, I need you to give me a copy of your deed to your house. And they'll say, well, we don't have it yet. We haven't paid it off. They do have it. It's buried in those closing papers. And I think for good reason, they probably feel like, they don't own it yet because the bank owns more of it than they do. But they do have the deed. So that deed that we get at closing is what establishes title. And we can hold title in a few different ways. If you and I own a piece of property together, we might own a property as what's called tenants in common. And what that means is that each of us owns an equal share of that property. And if one of us dies, that person's share doesn't just go to the other one. So if I die, my share doesn't go to you. My share goes according to my will. The other way to own things, which people kind of assume is always the case, is what's called joint tenants, where you and I are together, very common with husbands and wives. And if you own a property as joint tenants and a joint tenant dies, the other one just takes it over. So what all this means is how we own title, how we hold title is really important, because it's going to be a major difference in the event that one of the owners dies or wants to get out, wants to sell their share.
So a deed is a piece of paper that is in your documents when you close on the house, and it's part of your file. Is a title an actual document, or how does that look?
Sure, good question. So a title isn't a document. Title is sort of the legal status that is established by a deed. So when someone signs a deed for a piece of property and conveys their interest in that property to you, you now have title to that property. There isn't a title like a car, but we have, title insurance that guarantees our rights as title owners, but the document that conveys that is the deed.
That's a very important distinction. Taking that one step further, does the mortgage need to match the deed and the title? So it seems like there's three things here. So how do those three connect?
Sure. So the title is this concept. The title isn't a document. The deed is the document that transfers title. And then the mortgage, if we have a mortgage on a piece of property, that's the document that essentially is our agreement with the bank or the lender that says until we get this loan paid off, the bank or the lender, I mean it because it could be a private lender, has a piece of that real estate to secure that loan. So as far as whether the mortgage has to have the same people on as the deed, it doesn't have to. However, most banks are going to want to make sure that everyone who has an interest in the property is a signer on their mortgage, so that they aren't going to have issues with, John and I buy a piece of property together. John takes out a mortgage on it by himself. Then the bank comes after our property and I say, hey, that's not my problem. That's John's mortgage. The bank wants us both in the boat together before they try to collect their debt.
That's a very important distinction. What other bit of information should we know if somebody's maybe co-signing or there's two people on the title, someone's helping you out? Because we're talking about affordable options. So maybe mom and dad have to help out on that first house.
Great question. So co-signing is the nightmare that will not end for some of my clients. It sounds like a wonderful idea. It sounds like a harmless thing. But what I tell people is don't co-sign on a loan unless you are prepared to make a gift for the entire balance of that loan. If you're in a position where having that loan called due is going to financially devastate you, do not co-sign it. I have clients who have co-signed on student loans, who have co-signed on mortgages, and sometimes it's because someone's irresponsible. Sometimes it's because they get sick or go through a divorce or some major change in circumstances. But that loan comes due and they will come looking for the co-signer. And that co-signer doesn't have the excuse of saying, well, I really didn't know this was going to get called, or I didn't know they weren't paying, or they promised. Once you co-sign, you are personally making a promise to that lender that if for whatever reason the loan doesn't go well, you're going to step in. And not only step in, but you may have to step in for the full amount due, because by the time they come looking for you, the loan has already been defaulted on and the full amount is due.
Life happens, so it's important to make sure that you have your financial things in order, your title properly documented, and good people on your team to make sure that when you get your offer accepted, you get a good deal and you don't fall into some of the pitfalls that happen. Thank you so much for joining us, Al. I really appreciate you stopping by and telling us about title.
All right, thanks for having me, John.
What a great episode again. I am so excited to see Missy's home finished. We are going to go up there in the next couple of weeks and bring it to you on one of our upcoming episodes. What the house looks like and how quickly those houses get put together. It's amazing. That house was put on its slab on August 10th and it's going to be available for sale by October. I look forward to showing you around Missy's new modular home. Thank you for joining us on the Offer Accepted Show. Please like and subscribe so that we can reach a wider audience and we can help more people get into their home. I'll see you next week on the Offer Accepted Show.